You are watching the video manual of the Vostok Europe Lunokhod 2 with the Soprod Swiss multifunction movement. In this segment we are going to go over how to set the watch, the hours, the minutes, the day of the month of the year, and the year in relation to leap year. First of all, there are a couple of more traditional items on this watch that set like any other watch that would have them. This watch is a 30 ATM diver, so it does have a unidirectional rotating bezel. You would follow the same procedures you would with any rotating bezel for diving to measure your elapsed time by rotating this. It also has a helium release valve. That is an automatic helium release valve. There is nothing required for you to set. This is a feature for deep diving for the releasing of the helium as someone is coming back up from a deep dive. Again, this is a 30 ATM diver. Now, for setting the more common functions of the watch, right now you will notice that we are in the local time zone mode. As I showed in the original demonstration of the modes, this indicator here tells you what mode you are in. We're currently in the local time zone mode. Now let's say you didn't want it to be 9:35 and you want to set the local time to a different time. Let's say you want to go to 3:15 as the local time. The first thing you do is you pull out the crown all the way to the far out position. Now this is the C crown. As I mentioned earlier in the other segments, as always this is referred to as the A crown, this is the B crown, this is the C crown. You have now pulled the C crown out to its furthest position. Now, the typical thing that you would do, the natural movement now would be, I'm going to turn the crown to set the time. But as you can see, turning the crown does absolutely nothing. It doesn't hurt anything, but it doesn't move the hands in any way. That's because the way you set the movement on this watch, the way you set the time, is a little bit different probably than most any other watch you may have ever had in your collection. I equate it to how you would set the time on your clock radio beside your bed, how you have to push the buttons to advance the time. In that case digitally, here it's analog, but it's the same principle. If you'll notice, the seconds hand is in the 10 o'clock position while I have the crown all the way out. It's locked in the 10 seconds position. When it is in the 10 seconds position, the watch is ready to have the minutes set of the watch. Pushing the A crown will advance the minute hand 1 minute at a time. Pushing and holding the A crown will advance the minutes in a sweep fashion just like this. As you get close, let's say we want to be the 15 after, let go, and then you can push individually until you get to the position that you want the minute hand to be. Now, you've set the minutes. You want to move on to setting the hours. How do you do that? Now you're going to push the B crown. If you'll notice, when I push the B crown, we moved the seconds hand to the 20 seconds position. Once you're in the 20 seconds position, you are now ready to push the A crown in order to set the hour. Same drill. If you push it one at a time, it will advance 1 hour at a time. If you push and hold, it's going to sweep around faster, and then as you get closer to the position you want, you can let it go and then press. And let's just say we wanted it to be 9:15 again. Now you'll notice that it's locking in at 9. It doesn't look like it's 15 past the hour where the hour hand is. Once you push the crown back in to start the time functioning, the hour hand will then move to the proper position in relation to where the minute hand is on the dial. It's important to notice because it could look like you've set it wrong, and then you have to realize that if you're at 9:30, it's going to be locked here at the 9 o'clock position until you go back in with the crown to start timekeeping again. Now, that gives you the function for changing the hours. I hope you noticed while this was happening that the AM/PM indicator here on the time zone was moving, because you need to tell the watch whether you want it to be 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Right now we have the watch at 9 p.m. If what we really wanted to set the local time to was 9 a.m., we need to sweep back around. Excuse me, I pulled out the crown. So that's a good thing to notice. It's easy to do that, to just push the crown back in and not realize that you did that, and suddenly you've taken yourself out of the time setting mode. So I'm going to go back now to the 20 seconds position by pushing the B crown, and we are back to where we're setting the hours. So let's say you want AM and not PM. We start pushing the A crown. Now you see how it moved back to the AM position. We keep pushing, or we let it sweep, let go. Now we're at 9:15 AM, assuming that's the local time that we wanted. Now, we set the local time that we want. What's next? You push in the B crown again. Now you see how we moved to the 30 seconds position. The 30 seconds position. In the 30 seconds position, we are ready to set the day of the month, or the date. This indicator up here at the top is your date indicator. It also serves other functions with countdown of days and the years and so forth. But for the purposes of this setting mode, we are setting the days of the month. Now let's say that the day of the month we want right now is, let's go all the way back around and say it's going to be the 7th. Okay? Again, same drill. Push it in, we'll move one day at a time. Holding it in, it's going to swing back and forth in a retrograde fashion. So we get close to the 7th. I think I went a little past, so we'll do the same thing. Come back around, get close to the 7th. And then now we are indicating that we're the 7th day of the month. Now, to move forward to set the month of the year, again, same functionality. You press the B crown. You now see that the B crown has moved to the 40 seconds position. Once it's locked into that position, same drill. We can change the year. Now you see how it's only moving within the first 12. It's because obviously there are only 12 months of the year, and this is designed for you to only set those 12 months. So let's let go and say we want to set it to the current month, which is December, that we're filming this in, just so happens to be. So we've set this to December. So we've now got this set for December 7th. Okay? Now, there is one other important setting on this watch. This watch has a perpetual calendar through the year 2099. And yes, it's driving me crazy that I don't have this back in the center position, so I'm fixing that. Now, in order to have the watch know where it is on the calendar in relation to leap year, you're going to press the B button one more time, or B crown. We have now moved to the 50 seconds position, you see. In the 50 seconds position, you now have 4 positions up here with which to set the year. What you're setting is the year in relation to leap year. Now, we all know that this year, 2012, was a leap year. That means that we would set the watch in the 4th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, because you set the watch in relation to leap year wherever you are, so that the 4th year is the actual leap year. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this year was the first year past leap year. We would go to the 1st position. But because this year is leap year, we're going to be in the 4th position. The 4th position is always the year for leap year. So that means we've just passed leap year, another 3 years are going to come by, and when this automatically comes back around, it's going to be at leap year again. Why are you doing that? So that the calendar knows which months are 30, which months are 31. Of course, that's part of setting the month as well. But it also knows how to factor in for leap year. So in leap year, it's going to automatically go to 29 days for February as opposed to 28, giving you that perpetual calendar. If you don't ever have to make a change to the calendar, this calendar should always automatically be on the proper date. So if it's a month with 30 days instead of 31, you're not going to have to do like you do with a watch without a perpetual calendar and take it back to the 1st, because it would be sitting on the 31st as opposed to the 1st if it didn't have the perpetual calendar function. Now, you've got it set all the ways you want. Push the crown back in. You're now back in the local timekeeping mode. Okay. We're going to go ahead and show you in this segment how to set the secondary time zone as well. That's quite simple comparatively. There are no moving between the modes down here for setting the secondary time zone. Why? Because there's really only one thing you're going to set on a secondary time zone. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in around the world, the minutes are always going to be the same. So the only thing you're going to set on a secondary time zone is what other hour do you want to be in on the 24 hours that are available of time zones. So that's how you set the secondary time zone. Push the crown back in. If you want to be displaying the secondary time zone, you stay in that mode, or press again and again to move back through the modes until you get to local time zone keeping. And that is how you set the functions of the Lunokhod 2 with the SOPROD Swiss multifunction movement.